Mockery, 800 words. The stars stretched endlessly across the black canvas of space, flickering like tiny sparks. Humanity's lone warship glided silently, its hull sleek and unassuming, yet hiding power beyond imagination. Inside, the crew moved with quiet precision, checking instruments and adjusting shields. Every motion practiced, every action prepared. They knew the galaxy had mocked them before, called their ships small, weak, unworthy. But today, the humans were ready to show their strength. Far ahead, the alien armada waited, a sea of metal and fire, ships massive and bristling with weapons. Their leaders spoke through the comms, arrogance dripping from every word. "Look at your tiny ship, humans. It will be gone in minutes." The aliens laughed among themselves, believing victory was already theirs. On the human bridge, the captain watched silently, his calm face betraying nothing. He did not reply, for words were useless. The ship itself would speak. The aliens scanned, expecting weakness. They expected fear, but all they found was precision, confidence, and a quiet determination. Inside the human ship, every system hummed, engines ready to spring, weapons ready to fire. The crew moved in perfect coordination, each aware of the other, every eye watching, every hand steady. The humans did not fear. They respected the challenge. They knew respect came from skill and courage. The alien fleet displayed their numbers, holograms stretching across the void. Thousands of ships, rows upon rows, shining and terrifying. Banners of conquest flying proudly. They believed this display would break the humans, would show them the futility of resistance. The human crew watched calmly, absorbing the scale, but not intimidated. The captain's voice cut the silence. "Hold your fire. Wait for the moment. Patience is power." The aliens continued their mockery, unaware of woe. At lay hidden, they did not notice subtle shifts in the human ship, energy coiling like a spring, shields glowing faintly. Their arrogance blinded them to reality. The humans had prepared, studied, and waited. They had learned from every mistake and every battle before, and they would not fail now. Inside the ship, tension built, a silent anticipation, every crew member aware that history could be made today. Their eyes flicked between consoles, reading data, calculating trajectories, predicting enemy moves. Outside, the alien fleet laughed, their confidence palpable, a sound that would soon be replaced with fear. And then, with a single command from the captain, everything changed. Human weapons fired, streaks of light tearing across the void, precise and unstoppable. Alien ships exploded one after another, flashes lighting the darkness like distant suns. The first wave of destruction hit with surgical accuracy, leaving some alien commanders stunned. Confusion spread, disbelief replacing arrogance. The mockers had become the mocked. The humans moved with grace, dodging attacks effortlessly, using strategy and skill to stay ahead. The aliens tried to respond, their volleys of energy slicing through space, but the human ship was everywhere and nowhere, moving unpredictably, striking where least expected. Crew members exchanged quiet smiles, knowing they had turned the tide before the battle even began. Each shot, each maneuver, a lesson for the arrogant aliens, a reminder that appearances could deceive. And still, the alien fleet laughed. But it was nervous now, uncertain, cracks forming in their confidence. The human captain leaned slightly forward, eyes scanning the chaos, calm and steady. He knew this was only the beginning, that their power was underestimated, and soon the universe would learn the true strength of humanity. A single ship, small and underestimate. Ted had begun a war that would echo across the galaxy. As the alien commanders scrambled, trying to regain control, the humans prepared for the next strike, their minds focused, hearts steady, ready to turn mockery into destruction. The stars bore silent witness to the moment, the void itself trembling at what was to come. Humanity's warship had survived the laughter, and now it would show that mocking humans carried a terrible cost. The mockery had ended, but the real war was only beginning. The first strike, 800 words. The human captain's hand hovered over the command console, his eyes calm but sharp. The alien fleet, still laughing moments ago, now paused, sensing something different, something they could not yet see. The humans had waited for the perfect moment, studied every formation, every weapon signature, every weak point, and now it was time. The first beams of energy shot from the human warship, straight and true, slicing through the darkness. An alien cruiser exploded instantly, fire blooming across its hull. Debris scattering in all directions, shock waves rippled through the fleet, alarms blaring, commanders shouting orders that came too late. Humans watched silently, steady as the storm. Every strike calculated, every move precise. The alien fleet tried to regroup, sending fighter squadrons to flank the human ship. Missiles streaked toward them like falling stars, energy blasts lighting the void, but the human vessel moved like it had a mind of its own, dodging, weaving, slipping between attacks with ease. Every human on board was in perfect sync, their training and instinct guiding each action. On the bridge, the young weapons officer grinned quietly, adjusting fire patterns. "Targeting their left wing, sir. They won't see this coming," he said, his voice steady. The captain nodded slightly, giving only a faint acknowledgement. There was no need for fanfare, no need for words. The ship itself was speaking through action. As more alien ships fell to the human beams, panic spread through their ranks. Messages of disbelief poured in. Commanders could not understand how one small ship could cause so much destruction. Their arrogance was gone, replaced by fear, confusion, and the rising thought that perhaps humans were stronger than anyone believed. But it was too late to retreat, their formations already crumbling, their strategy failing. The human ship unleashed a second wave of attacks, this time targeting the alien command vessels. Bright streaks of energy tore through shields, ripping apart control centers. Explosions lit up the void like miniature suns, debris spinning in chaotic patterns. Aliens scrambled desperately, some ejecting from their ships, others trying maneuvers they had never practiced, but the humans anticipated every move. Countering with calm precision, the ship's tactical AI hummed quietly, feeding the crew real-time calculations. Every decision was a step ahead of the alien fleet. A chess game played at the speed of light. No shot was wasted, no movement random. The alien arrogance, once their greatest strength, now blinded them to the threat. They were falling into the trap humanity had set. A sudden explosion rocked the alien flagship, sending a shockwave across nearby ships. The fleet wavered, some ships colliding with each other, trying to escape the devastation, and the humans continued, relentless, every volley striking with deadly accuracy. The crew felt a quiet pride, not arrogance, knowing their work had saved countless lives and proven their place in the galaxy. Inside the alien command room, panic reached its peak. Leaders shouted, "How can one ship do this?" No one could answer. Their sensors showed the human ship unharmed, moving effortlessly, striking without mercy. Their fleet was crumbling, their pride shattered, and still, Hey tried to fight, but the humans were not done, their eyes on the final target, the heart of the alien formation. As the human captain leaned forward slightly, issuing the next command, every crew member knew the moment had come to finish the first wave of destruction with a coordinated strike. The human ship fired at multiple alien warships simultaneously. Explosions erupted like lightning across the void, fire and smoke twisting in space. The alien fleet scattered, some fleeing, others destroyed in a perfect storm of human firepower. And for the first time, the aliens truly understood the cost of underestimating humanity. A single ship, calm, precise, unstoppable, had struck terror into their hearts. The human warship moved past the destruction, untouched and unyielding, and as silence briefly fell over the bridge, the crew knew that the first strike had set the stage. This was only the beginning, and the galaxy would remember this moment forever. Humanity had shown its strength, and the aliens had learned that mockery could turn into annihilation. The first strike was a warning, a statement, a declaration that humans were no longer to be underestimated, and with the alien fleet reeling, the human captain prepared for the next phase. Knowing victory was within reach, the mockery had ended, the real battle had begun, chaos in the armada. 800 words. The alien fleet was in disarray, their formations broken, alarms blaring, commanders shouted orders, but no one listened. Confusion spreading faster than fire. Their once mighty armada now looked like a flock of frightened birds, scattered across the void, and the human ship moved through them like a ghost, silent and unstoppable. The young navigator adjusted course quickly, weaving between exploding ships. Every decision mattered, every second counted. From the bridge, the captain watched the chaos with calm eyes. He knew the aliens were panicking, that fear had replaced their arrogance, and fear made them predictable, a mistake they would pay for. Energy beams cut through the blackness, slicing through hulls. Explosions lit the stars with violent light, fragments spinning endlessly. The aliens tried to regroup, forming clusters to concentrate fire. But the humans had already anticipated this. Striking clusters first, breaking their cohesion, ship after ship was reduced to burning debris. Their screams echoing through the comms too late to be heard. A squadron of alien fighters dove from the flank, trying to strike the human ship. They swarmed like angry hornets, fast and aggressive, but the human vessel was faster, dodging with impossible precision. A single blast from the ship's cannons sent the lead fighters spinning into an asteroid. The others scattered in panic, knowing they had no chance against the unseen hand controlling the human warship. Inside the alien command cruiser, desperation was growing. Their sensors showed devastation. Their pride shattered. One commander screamed into the comm, "How can one ship do this? This is impossible." But the humans did not need to answer. Their actions spoke louder than words. Strategy, skill, and courage had turned the tide, and the aliens could do nothing to stop it. The human ship moved in a calculated arc, striking one group of alien ships, then another, dodging and weaving as if guided by instinct, every movement a lesson in precision. The crew worked together flawlessly, shields absorbing stray fire, engines twisting the ship through impossible maneuvers. Even in the chaos, there was order, a stark contrast to the alien panic. An alien warship tried a suicide attack, aiming straight at the human vessel, its engines glowing with reckless energy. But the human captain anticipated the move. Turning sharply, the alien ship crashed into another, creating a chain reaction of explosions. Flames and debris lit the void like fireworks. The hands barely flinched, continuing their relentless advance. In the middle of the chaos, a smaller alien frigate tried to escape. It accelerated quickly, weaving through the ruins of its fleet, but the human ship followed without hesitation, locking weapons and firing. The frigate exploded before it could even send a distress signal. The crew on the human ship exchanged quiet nods, their confidence growing with every successful strike. The remaining alien ships were scattered, leaderless, terrified, their communication filled with panic and confusion. Their arrogance had been their downfall, their mockery replaced with dread, and yet some still dared to fight, trying to strike at the human vessel. But no attack landed, every move anticipated, every plan countered. The humans had become a force beyond understanding, their skill unmatched. As the alien fleet faltered, some ships began drifting, engines failing, shields down. The humans moved among them like predators, striking only where necessary, teaching fear, showing strength, demonstrating that underestimating humans was fatal. The void was filled with flashes of energy, explosions, and fire, and the galaxy watched silently as chaos consumed the once proud armada. The captain leaned back slightly, calm and unshaken. He had seen fear in the alien eyes and knew that this was the turning point. The mockery had ended. The aliens had learned the cost of arrogance, and humanity's ship, small but mighty, continued its unstoppable advance. Chaos reigned among the enemy, but order, precision, and courage guided the humans. And in that moment, as explosions raged around them, the crew of the human ship understood the truth. They were not just fighting a battle. They were showing the galaxy that humans were not weak. They were cunning, brave, and unstoppable. And the aliens would never forget the day one small ship brought chaos to their mighty fleet, turning the tide. 800 words. The alien fleet drifted in chaos, sparks and fire marking their path, their pride shattered, their weapons faltering, their pilots trembling. The humans, calm and precise, glided through the void, striking only where necessary, each movement deliberate, each attack a statement, a message of power and control. The captain scanned the remaining ships, his mind sharp and clear. He could feel the fear, taste it in the vibrations of the comms. This was the moment to push forward, to show the aliens the cost of arrogance. "Prepare the next volley," he said quietly, his voice carrying calm authority. The crew moved instantly, shields recharging, weapons locking, engines poised. From the alien command ship, panic was growing. Their leaders shouted orders, but no one followed, confusion ruling the ranks. One commander tried to rally the fleet, but the human strikes were too precise, too fast. Ships that moved in formation a moment ago now spun helplessly. The void filled with explosions, debris, and energy trails. The human ship targeted the alien leaders first, striking with surgical accuracy. A massive cruiser erupted into fire, pieces scattering across the void. Another flagship faltered, shields failing, weapons offline. The aliens tried desperate maneuvers, fleeing, hiding, even surrendering in fear. But the humans did not hesitate. They were relentless, unstoppable. Inside the bridge, the weapons officer smiled quietly. "We've broken their morale, sir. They don't know what to do." The captain nodded, eyes scanning the void. He did not celebrate, he did not gloat. He understood the responsibility. Humanity had power now, and power required control, strategy, and precision. The alien pilots attempted a flanking attack, hoping to surprise the human ship. They zipped through the debris, missiles blazing, energy beams streaking toward their target. But the human ship moved faster, anticipating every strike, dodging effortlessly. A A single counterattack sent several alien fighters spinning into distant asteroids. The rest fled, panic overwhelming their instincts. The tide had truly turned, the humans now dictating the flow of battle. Aliens no longer mocked, no longer laughed, only feared. Every strike from the human ship taught a lesson. Every maneuver reminded the aliens of their weakness, and yet humans did not revel in destruction. They acted with precision, with honor, with strategy. From the rear of the fleet, a massive alien battleship tried one final attack. It fired all its weapons in a desperate attempt to stop the humans. Energy beams crisscrossed the void, explosions illuminating the darkness, but the human ship danced through the chaos, striking at the right moment. One final volley reduced the battleship to fragments, sending the remaining alien ships scattering. A hush seemed to fall over the void. Only the sounds of distant debris and flickering energy remained. The humans had turned the tide completely, their small ship now a symbol of unstoppable strength. The aliens, leaders and pilots alike, could only watch in disbelief. They had mocked humanity, laughed at their size, their simplicity, and now they understood the terrible truth. Humans were not to be underestimated. On the human bridge, the captain leaned back, calm and steady. He looked at his crew, each member alert, precise, proud. "We've sent a message," he said quietly, "that one small ship can change the course of a war." The crew nodded, knowing the galaxy would remember this day. The mockery had ended, fear had replaced arrogance, and humanity's power was clear. The void itself seemed to respect the humans. Silent witness to their skill and courage, the remaining alien ships fled, their morale shattered, their fleet broken, and the humans, small in number but mighty in spirit, sailed on, their ship a beacon of strategy, courage, and unstoppable force. The tide had turned, and the galaxy would never forget. The final blow. 800 words. The Albao, Iron Fleet, already broken, now moved like frightened prey, their pride shattered, their weapons damaged, their pilots desperate. Humanity's ship glided through the void like a shadow, silent, deadly, unstoppable. The captain's eyes scanned every ship, every movement, every weak point. "All systems ready," said the weapons officer quietly. The captain nodded, calm, steady, knowing this was the moment to end it. The humans had waited for this opportunity, studied every formation, every weakness, and now the final blow would strike, decisive, unavoidable. The human ship fired its first volley, massive beams of energy tearing through alien shields. A command cruiser exploded, fire and debris scattering like stars. The remaining ships faltered, their attempts to regroup failing. Panic and fear ruled their ranks. Arrogance vanished completely. The aliens tried to fight back, desperate beams and missiles streaking toward the human ship, but the humans anticipated every strike, dodging with impossible speed, every counterattack precise, each shot calculated. A smaller frigate tried to flank them from the left, but it was instantly destroyed, sending pieces of metal spinning across the void inside the alien flagship. Confusion and fear boiled over. Pilots shouted, leaders panicked, some tried to surrender. But it was too late. The humans had control. The final blow was coming. Even their fastest ships could not escape. Every path blocked, every move anticipated, every hope crushed. The human captain leaned forward slightly, issuing the next command. "Concentrate fire on the remaining command vessels," he said quietly. The crew responded instantly, weapons locking, energy flowing, and with one coordinated strike, the alien heart of the fleet erupted in flames. Explosions lit the darkness like deadly fireworks, debris spinning endlessly. The remaining alien ships scattered in terror, some fleeing, some already disabled. The humans pursued only when necessary, showing restraint. This was not just destruction, it was a demonstration of power, the cost of mocking humanity, the cost of underestimating strength. The void now held silence, broken only by flickering fires and drifting wreckage. The captain watched the aftermath calmly. His crew moved efficiently, checking systems, preparing for any counterattack. But the aliens had no energy left, no coordination, no hope. Their fleet was gone, their pride shattered, their arrogance turned to fear. In the alien command room, a final message was sent, trembling, pleading. The humans received it silently, reading the words. "We underestimated you, humanity. We are defeated." And the captain nodded slightly, eyes still on the stars. "Let them remember this day," he said softly. "The day one ship ended their fleet." The human ship moved through the wreckage like a victor through a battlefield, flames and smoke spiraling in the void, broken metal drifting silently. Every crew member understood the weight of what they had done, not out of cruelty, but out of duty, skill, and courage. They had defended their people, proven their place in the galaxy. As the last alien vessels fled into distant space, the humans held their formation, calm, precise, unbroken, and for the first time, the galaxy seemed to pause, watching the small but mighty human ship, its journey from mockery to victory complete. The final blow had been struck, and humanity had shown that strength, courage, and strategy could overcome any force. The captain allowed himself a faint smile. The crew exchanged quiet nods, their eyes filled with pride. The alien fleet was no more, their laughter replaced by fear. Humanity's power had been proven, and the galaxy would never doubt them again. The final blow was delivered, decisive, unstoppable, unforgettable, and the human ship sailed on, victorious, its crew ready for whatever the stars held next. Aftermath and awe. 800 words. The alien fleet was gone, shattered and fleeing, the void quiet except for drifting debris and flickering fires. Humanity's ship moved steadily, calm and unbroken, its crew silent, each feeling the weight of victory and responsibility. The stars themselves seemed to shine differently now, witnesses to what had just happened. The galaxy had seen humanity mocked, laughed at, underestimated, and now it had seen humanity rise, unstoppable, victorious. Messages began to flood in from distant systems, warnings, awe, disbelief, admiration. Some alien races had watched the battle unfold, hiding in shadow. All had witnessed the power, precision, and courage of a single human vessel, and all knew that nothing would ever be the same. Inside the human ship, the crew moved with quiet efficiency, checking systems, aiding each other, preparing for what might come next. But for now, there was a moment to breathe, a moment to reflect. The captain stood at the bridge, eyes on the stars, thinking of the lesson humanity had just taught the galaxy. The young navigator, still tense, whispered, "We did it, sir. We actually did it." The captain smiled faintly, nodding. "We did. But remember, victory carries responsibility. Our strength is not just in our weapons or speed. It is in our courage, our skill, our unity." The crew nodded, understanding that they had become more than fighters. They had become symbols of humanity's resilience and cunning far across the galaxy. Messages of awe spread quickly. Races that had once scorned humanity now whispered in fear and respect. Admirals and leaders calculated, wondering how one small ship could destroy an entire fleet. Prophets and historians took note, writing about the battle that would change the galaxy forever, and humans themselves felt a new sense of pride, a new sense of possibility. The captain turned to his crew, his voice calm but firm. "Remember this day, but do not celebrate yet. The galaxy is vast. Challenges await. We have shown our strength, but our courage will be tested again." The crew listened, hearts proud but minds alert. They knew the path ahead was uncertain, but they also knew humanity could face anything. The alien survivors, scattered and broken, returned to their home systems, their leaders shaking, their people silent. The memory of one small human ship tearing apart their armada would haunt them forever. Mockery replaced with fear, arrogance replaced with respect, and in every corner of the galaxy, whispers spread. Humans were not to be underestimated. They were cunning, brave, and relentless. Back on the human ship, the captain looked at the stars and thought of home, the planet below, filled with people unaware of what had just happened, and he felt a quiet pride, knowing humanity's courage had been witnessed by the universe. Their unity, skill, and bravery had carried them through, and the galaxy had learned, painfully, that underestimating humans was fatal. As they sailed onward, through the drifting debris of the destroyed armada, the crew felt a mixture of relief, pride, and awe. They had fought not just for victory, but for respect. For proof that humanity, small yet mighty, could face any force, and the stars themselves seemed to acknowledge this truth, glimmering with approval, a silent witness to humanity's rise. And though the battle was over, the story would continue, For the galaxy had seen what humans were capable of, and from this day forward, every fleet, every race, every world would remember that when humanity fights with courage, strategy, and unity, no force in the galaxy can stand against them, and the echoes of this victory would resonate through the stars forever. The human ship sailed on, victory. Ours yet vigilant, its crew ready for the challenges yet to come, their hearts brave, their minds sharp, and the galaxy watched in awe, knowing one small ship had changed everything. Humanity's legacy. 800 words. The galaxy was silent, awe filling every corner of space, the remnants of the alien armada scattered, broken, defeated. Humanity's ship sailed on, a symbol of courage, skill, and unstoppable resolve. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if honoring the victory. The captain stood on the bridge, eyes on the endless void. He felt the weight of what had been accomplished. A single human ship had shattered an entire fleet, and the galaxy would remember this day forever. His crew moved around him, proud yet vigilant. They had fought, they had endured, they had conquered. But they also knew this victory was not just about destruction, it was about proving something greater, something enduring. Humanity could rise against any challenge, against any force, against any doubt. Far across the universe, signals of astonishment reached home systems. Worlds whispered about the bravery, the precision, the intelligence of humans. Leaders who once doubted now calculated carefully. Historians recorded every detail, every maneuver, every act of courage, and the humans themselves began to understand that their legacy had just begun. The young officer at the navigation console looked at the stars. "Sir, do you think we will face them again?" The captain shook his head slowly, a faint smile on his lips. "Perhaps, but we will be ready, always. Today we taught the galaxy a lesson. Tomorrow we will uphold it. Humanity's legacy is not in fear, nor in conquest alone. It is in courage, in unity, in the power of small hands to shape the stars." From the wreckage of the alien fleet, scattered survivors whispered to each other, fear and respect replacing arrogance, doubt replacing laughter. The galaxy would never forget this day. One human ship had changed the balance of power, and the echoes of its actions would be told for generations, legends forming even in the emptiest corners of space. On the bridge, the crew stood together, silent, proud, aware of their role. They were not gods. They were humans. But humans who could overcome the impossible, who could rise when others mocked them. Their unity had become their weapon, their courage, their shield, and their strategy had turned the tide of history. The captain gazed at a distant star. He thought of home, of the planet that had birthed humanity, of the people who slept peacefully unaware of the battle. He felt a deep, steady pride. Humanity had not only survived, it had triumphed, and in the galaxy, humanity's name would echo forever. A small voice whispered from behind him, "The young navigator, sir, will we ever see such a battle again?" The captain looked back, calm, resolute. "Perhaps. But remember, it is not the battle that defines us. It is the courage we carry into every moment, the wisdom to use our strength wisely. Today we fought, today we won. Tomorrow, humanity will continue to shape its destiny among the stars." As the ship sailed onward, leaving the destroyed alien fleet behind, the crew felt something new, something deep. They had become more than warriors, more than defenders, more than survivors. They had become the face of humanity, a symbol of courage, resilience, and unstoppable spirit, and the galaxy watched in awe, silence replaced by whispers of respect. The humans had proven that even the smallest, seemingly weakest force could shape the course of history. The stars themselves seemed to nod in approval. The legacy of humanity had begun, and nothing, no fleet, no empire, no force, would ever forget it. The ship sailed on, its crew ready, vigilant and proud, their hearts filled with courage, their minds sharp with strategy, their legacy secure among the stars, and as they disappeared into the endless void, the galaxy knew one truth forever. Humanity would rise, humanity would endure, humanity would always prevail.